I told my parents if they keep letting my sister live rent-free, they shouldn't expect me to keep paying their bills. My sister is 26 years old and still lives at home with our parents. She has a decent job at a marketing company, makes good money, but refuses to move out because why would she when everything is free? She doesn't pay rent, doesn't pay for groceries, doesn't chip in for utilities, nothing. And the worst part is she loves to brag about it. Every family dinner she talks about how much money she's saving and how she's so ahead on her retirement fund compared to other people her age. Last month she flew to Japan with her friends for a whole month. A month. She posts pictures every day of fancy restaurants and shopping trips while I'm over here working overtime just to stay afloat. Here's where it gets complicated. I've been helping my parents out financially for the past 4 years. I pay their mortgage, their insurance, and their property taxes every single month. They went through some rough times and I stepped up because that's what family does. But I realized something recently. My parents can only afford to let my sister live there for free because I'm basically funding the whole house. So really, I'm the one paying for her free ride without even knowing it. I finally brought it up at dinner last week. I told them they need to either start charging her rent or give her a deadline to move out, or I'm going to stop helping with their expenses. My mom's face dropped and my dad got really quiet. Then my dad said I was being petty. He said it's so much harder for my sister's generation and she needs extra support to get on her feet. I reminded him that it was hard for me too when I was her age, but I figured it out because I had no other choice. Living at home was never an option for me. When I turned 18, it was understood that I needed to leave and make my own way. But for my sister, it was just assumed she could stay as long as she wanted. Nobody ever questioned it. Then my mom suggested something that made my blood boil. She said maybe I could use the money I give them to help my sister get her own apartment instead. Like just hand her cash so she can move out comfortably. I looked at her and said, she can afford a month-long trip to Japan. She goes on multiple vacations every year. She doesn't need my money to pay rent. She just doesn't want to. My dad tried to explain that they're worried about her mental health. Apparently in high school, she went through a really bad time and was self-medicating. They're scared that if they push her too hard, she'll spiral again. I get that. I really do. Mental health is serious. But she's 26 years old and seems perfectly fine booking international flights and going out with friends every weekend. The more I think about it, the more I realize this is about more than just money. Growing up, I was always the responsible one. I was expected to do well in school, get good grades, never mess up. When I graduated with honors, I got a card with $50 in it. When my sister graduated, barely passing some of her classes, it was treated like this huge family celebration. Everyone came over, there were balloons, my parents cried happy tears. There's a 10-year age gap between us, so I try to tell myself that parents grow and change. Maybe they just learned to be more supportive by the time she came around. But it still stings knowing I never got that same love and attention. My dad called me yesterday and said I should just help because it's the right thing to do. He said I have the means, so why am I making this difficult? But I'm tired of being the one who sacrifices while my sister gets everything handed to her. She texted me from Japan asking why I was causing drama, said I was jealous of her smart financial decisions. I told her living off other people isn't a financial decision, it's just mooching. She blocked me after that. My parents are barely speaking to me now. They think I'm being selfish and not considering how hard things are for young people today. But here's what they don't seem to understand. I'm not asking them to kick her out tomorrow. I'm just asking for some fairness. Either she starts contributing something or I stop being the family ATM. My wife thinks I'm completely justified. She's been saying this for years, but I always felt too guilty to bring it up. Now that I finally did, half my family thinks I'm the villain. I'm still paying their bills this month while I figure out what to do. But every time I see another vacation photo from my sister, it gets harder to hit send on that mortgage payment.